Hello, nonprofit accidental techies, one and all. Gather round this afternoon because have I got some great advice for you and a process that you can use to help you find potential new software, platforms, apps, products. If you don't know me, my name is Maureen Walbioff. I'm a nonprofit digital strategist and technology coach. And my whole passion in life, as it turns out, is to help nonprofit organizations and teams and leaders make really smart decisions about the products and platforms they use to communicate with their supporters, engage with them, and raise money. It doesn't matter what you're using, I can help you suss it out. So today's session, about every Friday afternoon at 12:30, I come and do a live session and I do a little bit of teaching. Sometimes I bring people with me. Today it is a solo event. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving last week. Hope your Giving Tuesday was all it was cracked up to be. The word on the street is the industry did very, very well, generally speaking. Exceeded 2021's Giving Tuesday fundraising total. So that is excellent news. That means you're using good fundraising software, maybe a good database and a good email marketing tool. So let's get right into it. Today, I'm going to help you use a process that I follow when I do market research for my clients. Nonprofit organizations often hire me to help them figure out what they need and what might be a good fit for those needs. So we're going to focus on things like email marketing tools, fundraising CRMs or databases, event management platforms, grant management software, peer-to-peer fundraising tools, all of that good stuff. You could start with an internet search, right? That's what many of us do, and we're not really sure where to go to start to research something as we go to Google. You could do that, but it's going to take a ton more time than you probably have. Right before we went live, I did a Google search, Best Nonprofit CRM 2022. My results were more than 7 million. So I'm not going to spend much time. Maybe past page 1 or 2 of the search, you could be missing out on some products that are maybe on page 12 or page 7 million. So this is what I do. I've developed this process over the past several years, and it's fun and it works really, really well. So before I get into these steps that I'd like you to take, or that I'm recommending that you follow, I want to remind you that they all happen after you've done step 1, which is discovery. That includes a review of your current systems and processes, some strategic planning, like over the next 3 to 5 years, what are we going to need this product or platform to do for us? Defining your requirements, functionality, integration, investment, time frame, kind of support that you are expecting to get, because every single one of these platforms and companies serves up support slightly differently than the other ones. Super fun to play that guessing game, right? Once you've got those things agreed to in hand, you know what you're looking for, how you're going to use it, and some of those constraints of time and money. Now you're prepared to do a little bit of market research. Think of this prep work, like the discovery work that I just went through, as your grocery list for Thanksgiving or your holiday shopping list. You need to write down what you're looking for before you start to look for it. It seems to make sense when I say it like that, right? It's a lot harder to find a gift for Aunt Kathy, let's say, when all you have is her name written down on a list. The time and money that you're going to invest in looking for a new platform, evaluating it, selecting it, is going to make a much bigger impact when you've given it that pre-thought before you start to shop around. So you've got those things in hand. You've sort of got a picture in your head of what you're looking for. Now it's time for the fun part, the little detective work part, the shopping around without really buying anything part. And this is how I do it. Normally takes me about 3 hours or so, maybe a little less if I'm only looking for one product. Much of the time, I'm looking for multiple things. We need a new email tool, a new database, a new fundraising system, new project management tool. Often I'm looking for more than one thing. You might only be on the hunt for one particular system that does one thing really, really well, in which case it might not take you that much time. So the first thing I do is I make and I'm a paper thinker. Okay. So I love technology and digital, but I tend to write a lot on paper in this detective work phase. So I make a quick and dirty list of the functionality, big picture functionality that my client needs. Like they need email marketing, they need a fundraising tool, they need a grant management system, they need a volunteer management system. Got all that jotted down. And then I write any product names that I'm already thinking about or ones that have crossed my radar that I just want to include in this initial market research work. Sometimes it's as simple as they've got this database and there's only 3 things that will connect to it. So I might actually have a short list, or I've worked with another organization that has used Product Potato and they love it and they seem to get good support. So it might wind up on my initial list before I even start to really look around. Then I do use the internet and I hit up my favorite search sites. And with that, I'm going to share my screen right now so that you can see in Chrome the sites that I look for. Okay, so here we are over in good old Chrome, and I've got my four go-to sites pulled up here in tabs. Softwareadvice.com. The next one, oh yeah, all these pop-ups. Next one is g2.com, capterra.com, and trustradius.com. I have found over and over again that these platforms, these research sites, these review sites, generally speaking, have the best mix of names and opportunities and reviews for nonprofit software. There's a bunch of them out there. These are the 4 that I go to over and over and over again. And so once I'm here, let's go back to Software Advice here for a second. I ignore all the pop-ups. I close all the chat bots. Sometimes I'm incognito, sometimes I'm not. And then I use the search bar and I type in the thing that I am looking for. So here I am. What can we help you find? Let's imagine it's grants management nonprofit. Always use the word nonprofit. Oops, nonprofit in your search results because it's really going to narrow the field. All of these sites have search bars. That's what you're going to use. So you can see 69 results. Did you know there were 69 grant management systems out there just listed on this one site? So I start to look at them. Go down the list. If there's anybody that I was particularly interested in, I would click that name. But let's go to view all products for a second. And let's start with this one, just a random one up at the top. I'm going to click. It's going to give me like a profile page. Pop up chatbot, go away. It's going to give me a profile page with an overview, reviews, and maybe some other suggested products that if I'm in the market for grant management software, I might want to take into consideration. So I look at the top 5 or 10 products, generally speaking. Each of these companies serves up their reviews and their ratings in a slightly different way. We'll look at another one in just a second. But you can see this is about this one product, grant management software. You got some screen shares. You got some suggested other products, some pricing here. And then when you go further down, you'll see some reviews. These are always a mixed bag, right? Like there's no perfect system out there. What you love, someone may loathe, but get a general sense of how many stars they have, how many reviews they've got, what's the feedback. Is the system worth a deeper look on your part? Or is it something that you're like, never mind, this, everyone hates it, I'm not going to pursue this product any further? And then back on my functionality list, I'm going to jot down the names of the products that struck my fancy. So let's go to Capterra for a second. You'll see these things all work kind of the same way. Let's look at a nonprofit CRM. Let's do that. 265 products on Capterra call themselves a nonprofit CRM. So they've got short lists, and then you can see this interface is slightly different than software results. You can see all of these products. They're sorted by ratings, right? It'll get me kind of a gist of what's in the market here. And I'll tell you, I swim in these waters every single day. I'm constantly coming up with new options that I didn't know existed. So even for pros, people who do this all day long, I still rely on this to just help me see what's on the market and what are people's general experiences of using these products, right? So add the names of the products that you want to check out, that you're interested in, to your functionality list. Here's what I'm going to tell you. And I will pick on Little Green Light for a second. Little Green Light is a great, from my perspective, it's a great CRM for brand new small organizations with just 1 or 2 staff. So here's what their portfolio kind of looks like here. You can see the features, the reviews, pricing, a video, some social proof, emerging favorite short lists here, and then a little bit more information. Very, very good. Super, super helpful. Again, with the other suggestions, other products you might want to consider if Little Green Light is on your radar screen. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to click visit website or get quote or see demo. Do not click these buttons. And here's why. They're tracking you. And so if you hit this visit website button and you go over to the product's website, you're going to get taken to a special page on their website designed just for folks like us who are browsing around. Nothing wrong with that, but I really want to go to the main site. The second reason I don't want you to click that visit website button is because they're tracking you, and somebody at that product, that technology company, is going to get your information in a split second as a potential lead. And your phone is going to ring or you're going to get an email. So if you are not ready to engage with people, which you are probably not at this stage of the game, don't click visit website. I want you to just open another browser tab and type in the name of the product and find it that way in kind of an untrackable way. So let me stop sharing the screen now and go back. Here we go. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. So don't click get price, don't click get a demo, don't click visit website. You want to do that on your own and save the connection with this company until you are ready. So open another browser tab, type in the company or the product name, and get to their actual homepage. Once you're at their website, I want you to look at 3 things, just 3 things. The first is the homepage. Who are they speaking to? You know, who's their client? Does it sound like you? Does it sound like they're talking to you or talking to a different type of organization or business? What's their general vibe? You know, what's their brand? Do they sound friendly? Do they sound very technical? Is their website fairly modern? Does it look like it's super old and nobody's touched it for a long time? What content is front and center on that homepage? What do they want to make sure that a new visitor like you knows? about them in that 30-second skim at most that we give a homepage before we decide we're moving away or we're going to keep on clicking around. That's the first thing, homepage. Second thing I want you to look at is the product page or products page, depending on what you're looking for. Look at the functionality details, right? What does this thing do? Does it integrate with the things that you need it to talk to? Does it do the things that you and your organization need this new tool to do for you? It's not going to tell you everything, but it's going to give you a good sense of, is there some meat on the bone here? Is there some there? Or is this just not, no, I need to scratch them off my list already. And then the third thing on their website I want you to pay attention to is their price page. Now, some companies don't have a price page. I will even use the search box to say cost or cost calculator or price to see if I can find a buried page or content on another page that I wouldn't typically find that might have some pricing on it. Sometimes they have a pricing page that basically says, contact us for pricing. So it's a little bit of a bait and switch. And other products are super transparent. They tell you everything you want to know from a ballpark cost perspective, because, you know, we all need to shop within our budgets. So you might hit something on one of these review sites that looks awesome, has great reviews. You go to the website, they're talking my language. This is perfect. Look at the functionality. Price is not a fit. I have to let it go. It's not going to work for me. I can't go to my boss and say, I need, $20,000 more a year to pay for this thing. It's just not going to fly. So suss out the pricing if you can. If you can't find pricing on the website, I often do a quick internet search, quick Google search, and I say, like cost for a product potato. And you can often find a little bit of pricing information in those search results that will at least tell you, are they in my range? Am I in their range or not? As you do these things, as you search those review sites and then flip over to the product or company websites, make notes on your functionality grid, on your functionality list. Put a check mark. I want to talk to these people. Put a question mark. I'm not sure whether I want to talk to these people or not. There might be something there. And cross off the people that for one, or the products that for one reason or another are just not going to fly for you. Sometimes I will look at the logos. Other clients, other nonprofit organizations are listed on a nonprofit software company website. And I might go over to one or two of those organizations and see if they're using that tool. Can't always tell, right? I can sign up for email and wait for them to send another email. But if there's fundraising forms, event forms, membership forms, anything like that, membership, join and renew volunteer applications, calendars that are powered by some of these products, it gives me a sense of two things. The first is, are they really a client still? Or did they leave your product and you just haven't updated your website? Or maybe they're not using that product for these things. Maybe something else is powering their general fundraising form, but they are using the product that I'm evaluating in some other ways that I can't see from a front end, just kind of clicking around. I would plan, if you're doing this for the first time and if you're looking for a couple of things, I would give yourselves probably 5-6 hours over a couple of days, uninterrupted, maybe an hour a day for a week, for you to just click around these review sites, Capterra.com, softwareadvice.com, G2.com, and trustradius.com. I'll give you these URLs in the chat here. Get a sense of what's out there, what people are saying about it, whether or not you want to consider including them in a full evaluation. Once you're done with this, you should probably have at least 3 to 5 products that you want to learn more about. No more than 6. I mean, okay, if you're looking for a lot of things, you will have probably a bunch of different companies on your list to follow up with. Don't overwhelm yourself. Please do more than 2, but maybe cap it at 6. If you have to go back and look again because everybody that you thought was going to be good did not work out for one way or another, then you can always go back to those review sites and get some other names. When you are ready to engage with them. And what I mean by that is I'm ready to start talking a sales process with you. I'm ready to maybe get a demo of your product. Then you can find contact information on the product or company website and use the email, send people an email. Some people call. There's still phone numbers out there that you can use, or you can fill out their contact or requested demo form. Expect calls and emails from salespeople to happen once you have said, hey, potential new client out here, I might be very interested in working with you, and I definitely want to learn more about your stuff. Get ready for that. Be ready for a pre-demo sales discovery meeting where you might have information you want to share with them. Might ask you a bunch of questions. You're going to ask them some questions. You might proceed to a demo after that initial conversation. They think you might be a good fit. If you think they might be a good fit, demo is the next step. A final pro tip here as I get ready to wrap it up for this afternoon, and this happens to me not infrequently, is I may find product potato. This is going to be great. It does everything my client needs. The price is right. They have a great onboarding and support program. Fabulous. And I try to reach out to a salesperson. I don't hear back. This has just happened to me over the past couple weeks. If nobody gets back to you within a week, cross them off your list. That's telling you something. Maybe they're too busy, or they've had turnover on their sales team, or it's just not the right time for you to engage with them. Pay attention to that. You are bringing them business potentially, which means they should be Johnny on the spot to show up and talk with you and be interested in you and the things that you need. So if you hear radio silence or crickets after you filled out a form and it's a week, scratch them off the list. The other thing you can try is LinkedIn. Sometimes that's a great place. I find that I'm like 1 degree of separation from an account executive or somebody on their company's team. And so I can then send a message to the person that I'm connected to see if they can facilitate some kind of email exchange so that we can start to see whether this product would be a good fit for a client or not. So that's what you're going to do. You're not going to Google. You're not going to ask your friends yet. You're not going to just pick one thing and decide that that's it. You're going to know what you need and why, and how much you have to spend and when you need to move in. You're going to look at those sites, Capterra, Software Advice, G2, and Trust Radius. Look up the functionality that you need. Use the word nonprofit in the search bar. Start to analyze what you're seeing on those review sites. Do not click the visit website button. Open up another tab in your browser. Look for that website on your own. Evaluate those sites. Look for pricing if you can find it. And then decide who's on your short list to follow up with. This is a really fun time because anything is possible. There might be something out there that is just perfect for your needs and your skill set and your budget and the other tech stack pieces that you already have in place. This is not sort of like I'm just going to kind of guess, or I'm only going to base my search on price. If you're not sure where to look, those review sites are a great resource for you as they've been for me. So I hope this helps. If you're not in the market yet, but you know you will be after end of year fundraising season is over, then please bookmark this video and you can cycle through the steps again when you're ready to use them. I hope this was helpful. It's always a pleasure to provide this kind of information to everybody. And take it easy this weekend. I know last weekend was a holiday weekend. Many of us had a little bit of extra time off, but it was holiday time, so it tends to be busy. Came out of Giving Tuesday. Take a breath, take a breather. Your fundraising campaign will be waiting for you when you get back in on Monday. And I will see you here next Friday at 12:30 with instruction or advice that you can use if you're a nonprofit accidental techie. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next week.